It was about 1980, and I had graduated with a degree in commercial art from La Crosse and got my first job at a printing company called Mound Graphic in Elk Mound, Wisconsin. And being 10 miles from Eau Claire, somehow we had contracted the printing contract with Kinship, which was the organization prior to Big Brothers Big Sisters. And so in 1980, as we were doing the Kinship newsletter, I started reading about the organization and becoming interested in it. His name is Doug Weaver. He's now 57. We were matched when Doug was 12 and my wife Rose and I were both 20.
My first impression of John was that he was going to be a fun guy to be around, very outgoing and somebody that I liked right away. One of the things I remember specifically about John was when you're a kid in the program and you get matched up, there's a lot of waiting. You have to wait to get matched. And then once you are matched, then you get to wait until your parents meet the match and that kind of thing. I remember I was super excited for my mom to go meet John and Rose. It's like he was anxious to meet me as much as I was anxious to meet him.
Doug reminded me of one incident that I probably shouldn't mention here, but we had the brilliant idea of taking a bow and arrow and shooting arrows straight up into the air. And then you'd lose sight of them. So we'd both run like maniacs. And I tell that story this many years later because they would have broken up our match if I'd have told them back then. Doug moved to California with Mom, and we would stay in touch in kind of a unique way. We would send cassette tapes back and forth to each other, and we would doctor the cassette tapes where he would ask a question and I would give him some ranting bogus answer, and we'd go back and forth and we'd alter these tapes, and it really sounds stupid, but it was fun. Doug and I stayed in touch. Rose and I went to his 40th birthday party in San Diego, California, years ago. When I was on the Kinship board in 1981, Sharon Horton, the executive director at the time, mentioned that the organization was going through some financial difficulties. So Doug and I literally started the Kinship Super Bowl in 1981. It's now the national Big Brothers Big Sisters largest fundraiser nationally. I think that made a little bit of an impact.
The role he plays in my life today is just being that constant role model, like always striving to be like him or to do the things that he does, to put the effort into his community and his family. He does obviously have 3 kids, and that also kind of helped shape me. I've got 2 kids, and I saw kind of secondhand because the kids were born after we left, but I did see some interactions with him and his kids when we were visiting, and I feel like that kind of trickled down a little bit to the way that I helped raise my kids, and he's just that constant positive image that I always have to rely, think back on. It's like if things get challenging, if things get difficult, if I don't feel like I'm successful at something, well, I've always got that personal, professional role model to think back on. It's like one of those what would John do kind of moments.
In addition to being a couple times, I served on the advisory committee and on the board level for Eau Claire. I've recruited a number of great, enthusiastic people to serve on that advisory committee, mainly to assist the board in Eau Claire on the 2 big events, the golf outing currently and the bowling event. Well, it's probably the simplest concept where a lot of people get involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters because they want to help a little. And the reality is the little does as much for the big as the big ever does for the little. I think one of the biggest reasons for success of the Kinship organization and now Big Brothers Big Sisters is the dedicated staff. I would have not had interest to expend my resources of time, talent, and treasure to Big Brothers Big Sisters if it wasn't for you and Travis. So the staff makes it go.